Hi everybody, I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and tonight I'm going to show you an awesome recipe for how to roast Napa Valley Bordeaux Cherry Balsamic Rock Cornish hens. Now I've got 4 rock Cornish hens here, and I've already rinsed them off. They've been sitting and drying. I've patted them dry with clean dry paper towels. I have them underneath soaking too, and these guys have just been kind of air drying to make sure that that skin is going to be dry. You want it to be dry so that the butter that you're going to put on the skin, slather on there, is going to stick to it. That's going to help you get a nice crispy skin. Otherwise, you're going to get steamed skin, and steamed skin is not nearly as nice as crispy, crunchy skin. So I'm going to start these guys. I'm going to prepare them on a baking sheet because I don't want to get my roasting pan, which is already sprayed and ready to go, dirty. I need to stuff these guys. You can use whatever kind of stuffing you want. Tonight I did a beautiful blue cheese, walnut, and organic black quinoa stuffing, and I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit so that I can stuff these birds. But in the meantime, I can get the birds prepared with butter and the seasonings on the outside, and then we'll get to going. So each one of these little rock Cornish hens is about 600 or 700 grams. They're cute little one-person serving. You could always serve them in halves if you want to, but I think an adult could eat a whole one for sure. So these are nice and dry, which is awesome. It's exactly what I need. So do this on a cookie sheet. It works so much better. I'm using about half a cup of butter, and it's got to be soft. It's got to be malleable so that you can slather these guys up, okay? Also, you don't want to contaminate your butter dish, so put the butter that you're going to use for this in a completely different dish so you don't even get tempted. Believe me, it's not what you want. You can get salmonella problems and all kinds of stuff. So just go ahead and massage the skin with the butter. Get it all stuck on there beautifully. If you need to get some inside, go ahead. If they're not quite dry enough, go ahead and pat them dry one more time. You really want to make sure that the skin is going to crisp up. That's really important to me. This is definitely not the pretty part of this recipe. Drop a little bit of butter into each cavity. It's always tasty, tasty. All right, I'm going to set up my spices to the right of me because that's my dominant hand, and the left one is going to handle the Cornish hens. So I have my lids open because you don't want to be fussing with that when you've got messy hands. You want one hand dirty, one hand clean to touch things, okay? So I'm going to start by getting these all kind of seasoned up. Inside the cavity, outside, I'm using pepper. I'm going to use some salt. I have some poultry seasoning. I'm going to season with lightly. I'm not going to use any onion powder or garlic powder. That tends to burn on the outside when you have a type of meat like this that's going to be going in your oven for a good hour and 20 minutes. So you don't want that to burn, and that's what happens with those spices that are like that, the garlics and the onion powder. All right, just a whisper of poultry seasoning because I'm going to do a glaze of Bordeaux cherry balsamic vinegar, and I don't want to really interfere with that flavor. I want that to shine through, but I do want to season these guys up, you know, somewhat traditionally. Gorgeous. Some salt. I'm using a little bit of paprika, more so for color than for flavor. This isn't a spicy variety. This is just mostly for aesthetics. And a little bit of cayenne pepper, just for a tiny kick of spice, just like how we like. Now I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit so that I can get these guys going pretty quickly in the oven as soon as I get them stuffed. And I have 2 little apples, tiny apples. These are little golden delicious. They are washed, they are cored. And I'm going to use these guys to hold the ends closed of the hens after I've stuffed them. I love to do that. When I do a turkey, I use something bigger, a nice bigger fruit. But these are nice little tiny apples, and they will work perfectly. So let me finish up my stuffing so that we can get these guys stuffed and in the oven. All right, my stuffing is ready. The blue cheese, walnut, black quinoa stuffing, and I'm ready to go. So we're gonna stuff these guys and make them happy. Be generous with your stuffing. And I'm just going to use my hands. They're your best tools. Okay, that's why I like to do it on the baking sheet first before you even try to put that in the roasting pan, because you don't want quinoa all on the outside of your birds. That's gonna burn and it's not gonna be tasty. Mess around and get bitter on you and you're not gonna be happy. So go ahead, do it on here. Try and keep that quinoa all in the cavity only. Oh, I'm so excited. This is gonna be so delicious. Now push that in. When you make quinoa, make sure you make extra so that you have more for tomorrow. It's so easy to make, and then you're already prepared ahead of time. All right, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to put one of the apples in here to hold that stuffing in. And I'm going to do my best to wrap that skin around the apple to keep it in there, okay? Then I'm going to brush that quinoa off as best I can and into my roasting pan with the breast side up. Well, I think I underestimated the size of my birds, so I need to use a bigger pan. No big deal. And then rinse and repeat on the other birds. Okay, just get them stuffed. And you want to roast them breast side up, like I said. Take your time. There's no rush. You're not in a race. You're not a competition. Just get it done. And then cap that off with the apple. And you don't need to see the rest. Now, sometimes in the handling of these little hens or any kind of poultry, while you're trying to stuff it and you're trying to, you know, get them prepared, the butter that you put on, some of it comes off. So I'm just going to go ahead and drizzle this with a little bit of melted butter on the top, just to get things happy and going before I throw them in. Also, I'm going to throw in some potatoes. Make sure you check out the recipe for how to roast Little Gems potatoes with rosemary and sea salt flakes. That's what's going in the pan. I don't have to do it in a separate pan. But check out that recipe if you want to find out how I'm getting those guys prepared. All right, these guys are ready and to go. I just spritz them up with a little bit extra spices on the top as well. They're gonna go into a 400-degree Fahrenheit oven for 10 minutes. That's gonna get things going. That's gonna start working on that butter you just put on there. It's gonna be delicious. It's gonna help start a crispy skin. Then we're gonna turn it down and we're gonna let it finish roasting on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for the rest into the oven they go. I'll see you in a minute. All right. Now, that was in there for 12 minutes. I left it just because I walked away for a minute. They smell awesome already. The skin is starting to brown now, and we've got things kick-started. So now I'm going to turn that temperature down to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I have it on convection just to keep things moving the air. I want to get heat all around these guys, okay? If you want to cook some hard vegetables in here, like roasted carrots or small potatoes, that's what you want to do. Put it in the center, let it kind of sit there with all those beautiful juices that are coming out of your poultry, or you can do them separately, but I like to do it all together. Not only does it give more flavor, you don't have to clean as much stuff either, right? Now, back into the oven, these hens go for at least another 45 minutes to an hour. You want to make sure they're done. The joints need to be nice and loose. You should be able to move those legs easily and freely, and the skin's going to be nice and crispy and brown. Now, if you see that your skin is getting too browned while you are roasting, make sure you're checking on it intermittently. Look in the oven. Just make sure all is well. If it's getting too brown, just put a piece of aluminum foil on top loosely so that the air can still circulate. You don't want it like tight up on there. You just want it laying on there so that it covers up the skin, and it'll keep everything cooking, but it won't let your skin burn. So into the oven it goes. What a great meal that's going to be. So you're probably wondering where the Bordeaux Cherry Balsamic is coming from. This is Napa Valley Vinegar Company's Bordeaux Cherry Balsamic Vinegar. You can find them online at winecountryKitchens.com. They have a whole line of these vinegars and different awesome flavors, as well as other fruit vinegars and sauces and spices and foodie things that'll just make your mouth water looking at them. This is a high quality balsamic vinegar from Modena, Italy. That's the highest quality you can get. It has a beautiful puree of cherry in here combined with it. Concentrated, intense. It comes out the texture, the consistency of a syrup. It's just dreamy. Like you could put this right on your pancakes and be happy. It's that good. All vinegars are not created alike, and this one is especially good. What a great way to spice up your repertoire in your kitchen. Man, it's not just great for glazes, it's not just awesome for vinaigrettes. You can use it in cocktails, you can use it in your baking, you can use it in all different kinds of ways. And it's been fantastic every single time. I probably have had some recipes at the bottom of the screen right now scrolling to you. So we're gonna put this on near the end of roasting, maybe 15 minutes before it's done, before our little hens are done. If you put it on now, what would happen is this is so full of sugar that the sugars would burn. By the time the Cornish hens were done, you just have a burnt mess on the outside. So you have to wait until just before. I'm gonna probably do two coats of it. We'll see what it looks like because it is very thick. So it might just surprise you. So we'll see with this later. Ooh, things look gorgeous. This has been 30 minutes since I put it in last. And the skin on the hens looks brown. It's browning nicely. It'll get even more brown. Things are moving along. The potatoes look good. And we have some beautiful drippings here that I'm going to use to just go ahead and doctor up these little hens. Deliciousness. They look beautiful. And I don't need to cover them up either yet. And I might not have to at all. Perfect. So get that, baste it up. Baste up your potatoes if you really want to, if you've got extra veggies in here. You got options. Okay, back into the oven for the last little bit. These hens look beautiful. I can't even express to you how beautiful it smells in here. Look at that. Oh gosh, they are perfect. You could just serve them like this. But now, we're gonna kick it up to like a whole nother level, all right? So let's get this glaze on here. We might just need one coating. Also, we're gonna make sure our potatoes are done. I'm pretty sure they are. They're perfectly done, in fact. So I'm gonna take my potatoes out now before I go ahead and baste my hens with this beautiful glaze. All right, it's time for our beautiful balsamic. Now I'm gonna use a small bowl so that I don't contaminate things. I might need maybe 2 tablespoons worth of this delicious stuff. It looks like black gold, like oil. It's so nice and thick, but it's sweet and delicious. All right, so let's glaze these guys up, get everything covered. Oh, it smells so good. And it's gonna be so delicious with the blue cheese and the walnut and black quinoa stuffing. Wow. We're gonna allow this to kind of dry out on here and caramelize a little bit. And we'll see if we may need another coat. I don't think we will, but we'll look at it and see. Oh, golly, that's beautiful. Do you remember that commercial? Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. That's what these Cornish hens are saying. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Ugh. Phenomenal. All right, uncovered, back into the oven for another maybe 10 minutes, okay, on 350 degrees. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, these look awesome, and I only needed 1 coat of the glaze. It is very coating. Look at that. Oh, they look so gorgeous. They're all nice and browned up. The glaze has dried out some. Oh, can't wait to try these. Well, let's plate them up. I'm going to bring them to the table all together. They already have the stuffing inside. Don't forget about that beautiful apple that you can still eat too. Man, these silicone gloves are handy not just for taking stuff out of the oven, but you can actually handle the food with them and wash these guys off like they're your hands under the sink. So this would probably be the easiest way to get these guys out of here gently. You want to make sure that the apple stays in and all the stuffing stays in. In case they're stuck to the bottom, you can kind of shimmy them, but they're not. They're perfect. Beautiful. So arrange them on the plate however you see fit. These are beautiful. What a beautiful dish to bring to the table at Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter, Valentine's Day. You would really impress your sweetheart if you made these. All right. Now all these drippings at the bottom you can make into a gorgeous gravy, or you can save them for a gravy for tomorrow even. Now you can't tell me that that is not an impressive display to bring to the table. Already ready to go. They've already got a side dish in them. Man, they're pretty. Now, if you want to serve it individually on plates, it still looks just as beautiful. Look at that. Very impressive. You should have seen everyone's eyes when I brought them one of them tonight. Anyhow, gorgeous, right? Let me take that apple off so you can see what that beautiful stuffing looks like. Oh yeah, with the blue cheese and the walnuts. Oh man, what a treat. And there you go. Look at that. Oh, awesome. Well, if you want to learn how to make these little potatoes, make sure you check out my show for how to roast little gems potatoes with rosemary and sea salt flakes. They're really, really good. And it was really easy to make them alongside your Cornish hens. Now, let's take a delicious taste. First, I want to try this stuffing. Just the right amount of walnut, and it's not overpowering, because I'm not really crazy about walnuts, but I do like a hint of walnut. Beautiful. Perfect with the blue cheese. Unbelievable. What a great addition to a stuffing. Something you definitely would not expect. It's good. The quinoa is perfect. It's just a little bit crunchy-ish, but still tender and perfect. Beautiful. You grab one of these little legs. You can see, you'll know it's done when these joints are just falling apart. You can feel that jiggling on the side and you'll be like, oh, okay, that's done. Gorgeous. Oh, it smells so good. The skin is crispy and has that beautiful cherry glaze on it. The meat looks moist and tender. That is delicious. And what a combination together. With that stuffing and the blue cheese and that flavor of the cherry. Crazy good. The Cornish hen is tender. It's done perfectly. The meat is very succulent and delicious. Falling off the bone. But that skin, you're gonna want to eat that skin. It's so good. So those weren't as daunting as you would have thought, maybe. I know that people see these things in the store and they go, ooh, I don't know how to do that. It's just like a little chicken. If you've ever roasted a chicken, that's no big deal, right? Don't get so upset and nervy about a little Cornish hen. It's smaller, okay? It's easier to deal with, whatever. You can do it, don't worry about it. Grab some of these at the store. They're really cute. They're beautiful to have a nice romantic dinner. They're lovely for a holiday occasion or just, you know, on a Sunday, something special for a Sunday. That's it. Gorgeous. The glaze is shiny and beautiful and full of flavor, and we only needed one coat because this stuff is phenomenal. Make sure you check out winecountry.kitchens.com for this vinegar and their whole line of vinegars. I'm telling you, you're gonna love them. I'm not kidding. You're gonna love these guys, okay? So that's how you do it. That's how you roast a Napa Valley Bordeaux Cherry Balsamic Rock Cornish hen. All right, you can do it too. I hope that you try this for your next holiday occasion, maybe Easter, all right? That's it. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim, E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly, youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. You can find my channel on Roku, Cooking with Kimberly, and I'm also syndicated on Apple TV. Come to my website at cookingwithkimberly.com and subscribe. Interact with us and let us know what's going down in your culinary world. All right? Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye. You're gonna eat deliciously with that. That is awesome.